first of all, one of my main reasons for being there was to do a presentation on the issue of human smuggling. But the second reason to be there was to convey to the Sri Lankan government our very serious concerns about the ongoing failure of the Rajapaksa government to deal with reconciliation in the post-war environment, the failure to produce any meaningful accountability for crimes that were committed during and at the end of the Civil War, and for the general failure to protect and strengthen human rights and the rule of law. As you know, Prime Minister Harper has indicated that if we do not see significant progress with respect to reconciliation, accountability, and human rights, that he is disinclined to attend the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Colombo this November. And so I reconfirmed our concern about those issues in my meetings in Sri Lanka, and I also met with opposition, civil society, Tamil organizations, and others to hear their views about the human rights and political situation in Sri Lanka. I met with M.A. Samantiram of the Tamil National Alliance, very impressive new member of parliament, as you know. I spoke at length by phone with the Catholic Bishop of Mannar, Bishop Rayapu Joseph. That was based on a recommendation I received from someone in the community here in a conference call that I held. I met with a series of non-governmental organizations, both international NGOs and Sri Lankan and Tamil NGOs, about the situation. I met with Foreign Minister Perez, as well as Deputy Foreign Minister, who is Mr. Pereira, and I met with UNP leader, the leader of the opposition, and former Prime Minister Ramil Wickramanasinghe, and I've met as well with Minister of Defense, or Secretary for Defense, and Minister for Economic Development, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and had other meetings while there, all of which confirmed our view and our concern that there has been a dramatic failure of the government to pursue the opportunity for meaningful reconciliation in the post-war environment, and that there are many grounds on which to be concerned about the human rights situation. We still continue to hear stories about disappearances, about lack of accountability for serious and violent crimes that are committed, about the continued and excessive militarization of the Northeast, the Jaffna Peninsula and Tamil areas. About, of course, and just when I was there, 1 week later, we saw the what we believe was sort of unlawful impeachment of Chief Justice Bandaranayake, who, of course, which was done in a fashion completely beyond the norms stipulated by the Commonwealth. And so these were all issues of concern to us, and that is something that I amplified with particularity with Foreign Minister Pereira and Foreign Minister Perez and Defense Secretary Rajapaksa. So we had a very blunt discussion. I mean, I think that there are some things that the Sri Lankan government has done that is worth credit in some respects. There have been some efforts at resettling refugees from the war, but generally we find the whole situation discouraging, and in many respects the reports that we received from credible NGOs is that the political situation is actually deteriorating rather than improving. So I've reported my views back to Prime Minister Harper and Minister Baird, and in due course the Prime Minister will be making a decision about the level of Canada's engagement at the Colombo head of CHOGM, Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. We recognize that there are push factors and pull factors in this migration. And one of the push factors is the terrible political situation in Sri Lanka, the lack of economic opportunity, of hope for young Tamils in particular, And that's one of the reasons people are obviously seeking opportunities to migrate. We understand that. And that is why we have taken the strongest position, I believe, of any country in the world, certainly in the Commonwealth, in demanding accountability and human rights for all of the people of Sri Lanka, including and especially the Tamil minority. I'm happy to take any questions you have.